Scooch it in here.
Scooch it in. Well, we have we just have a fucking chiptune guy now.
Thanks, chiptune guy. You're the best. You're the best. Wait, so these are the sponsors?
Yeah.
Can I have is there? I got some canoes in the fridge. Are you up?
I am
Can you
up.
grab me? Can you grab me I need a sipper in the meantime. Well, or that, I don't know. That's what you should do. Morning. Who's in first? Oh boy, Derek. PB Nation forever. Yes. I've been abstaining from any PB until they take the title or go home. I'm not eating any PBs.
Meow.
All dogs go to heaven. Meow.
Okay. We're at noon. Should probably fire it up, huh?
Let's go. Can't see my brackets, can you? No. This is good. This is a good tune.
It is.
Making dreams come true. Paul, I didn't do anything to my hair.
Welcome to Tumble Home, a Boundary Waters podcast. Live from Studio K, we are covering the second round of the Tumble Tourney, a majestic, magical, and unrivaled tournament. We're back in the studio. Cannot wait to get to some second round results. Thank you for being here.
You know, they call the Iditarod the last great race. And I think this is now the last great tourney.
Well,
you know, it's definitely the longest running and the last tourney standing. And there's no question about that. Those are all rock facts.
Rock facts. Yeah, the actual
Greg's rock of the week.
The actual March Madness tournament selection Sunday did happen. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, they're back, but you know, they're old news.
Yeah.
The hoops.
Andy Katz, get out of here.
All I know is that Gonzaga is undefeated, and Duke didn't make it. That's a real shame.
Well, they had
in a year in which Tom Brady and Dallas Seavey won the Iditarod and Super Bowls, respectively.
Yeah.
It's a real shame Duke's not in.
It's a real shame. We are sponsored, as always, by our fine friends on Patreon. Thank you, patrons. $5 a month. You can listen to us trash Jeremiah Johnson this week.
It's a trash movie.
It's yes. Down there. I don't know why it's up there in people's minds as a good movie. Listen to one of the shortest TCC episodes
ever. It's not a lot to say about it.
So we're doubling down on we need something fun, something crazy.
So we're going to do River Wild.
Yeah, so we're doing the River Wild.
Yeah.
To make up for how boring Jeremiah Johnson was.
I kind of want to watch like Princess Mononoke. There's got to be some fish in there or something. Flying fish, magic fish.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something. So that one's going maybe in the summertime. But yeah, River Wild. Any other good ideas for paddling movies that are still out there we haven't done? Yeah, anyways, thanks, Tumble Homies. And
thanks, y'all.
Appreciate ya.
And this week, currently, I know there might be some beer in transit, but as we are recording today, these are our last sponsors. Summer can't get here fast enough, people.
Breaking news. This is troubling news. Erica found me out in the yard sawing down some alder. There's really good walking around in the woods temps right now. You can just walk right on top of the snow. I'm out there sawing away with the Silky Boys, trying to give them a little extra juice.
Yeah.
And Eric comes out with the nor'easter, and he says, "This is the end of the line, bud.
End of the line.
No more beers in the fridge right now." So
yeah.
we're gonna have to go back to the old style, the old ways of buying our own beer sponsor. Yeah, it's fine.
The old ways.
I think we have some things in the pipeline now. Definitely somebody sent us a message about some fine ciders from Idaho.
Yeah, we're kind of getting back into that time of year where art supplies can be shipped without fear of freezing. But we're also getting back into the time of year where you can just stop by Clearwater, say hi, and drop off a sponsorship. These are from...
It's totally legal.
These are from Dakota and James. Thanks, guys. Grain belts.
Where's this one going to hit? Jesus. Well, that one went up into Beaver House, I think.
Beaver House.
That one ended up in Beaver House, it looked like. Stick around till the end of the show today. I got a little passage from my reader.
Oh,
that one hit me. I'm 2 for 2.
You're 2 for 2 by getting hit in the goggles there. Cheers, my good man. We have been sponsored by Big Friendlies, but these are Northeasts.
So I was giving a little juice. Oh yeah. Giving myself a little juice. The Northeast.
Yeah.
I was giving the Silky Boys a little juice, and I got my Moose shirt on. My old Centennial Clearwater staff Moose shirt. Actually, this isn't a staff shirt, is it?
I don't think it is.
I'm an honorary staff member for life.
Every 10 years you work at Clearwater. You coming back this summer?
This is true, yeah. I'm going to come and I'll come do like one transport for you. Does that count?
You should come.
What's the bare minimum?
One breakfast shift.
I'll come cook biscuits and gravy.
Eggs McClearwater.
I'll cook omelets. No, I'll cook you eggs to order. Any way you want.
Wow, yeah.
We'll just random guest appearance in the kitchen.
There you go.
You guys still got the old stove in there and the griddle, right?
Yes.
I'd have to make some buttermilk pancakes for sure. The old ways.
The old way. Do you want to get to some in the field analysis from last week and potential predictions and what our fine friends on the subreddit are thinking for this week?
Yeah, I would love to hear what they're thinking. I've been really avoiding the subreddit, and I've seen some nice artwork, but I've been doing my best to stay away.
Yeah, there's been some really good stuff. The Aldi One has been putting together some like really great like animated like artwork.
I managed to put like one picture of a cast iron full of pizza biters on the Instagram. Meanwhile, Aldi One's out there like producing some fine, like even animated GIF logos for some of the matchups. I don't know, how do you do that stuff? Is that on like Super Nintendo with Mario Paint?
Yeah, it's like some like Flash stuff, but like I know Flash doesn't exist anymore. I don't know. Maybe he's one of the guys that was behind Homestar Runner or something.
This is like HTML5.
Yeah, there's some nice memes out there from Aldi One. So yeah, check those out. I hope to see some more going forward.
We'll ship you some art supplies. Keep it up.
Keep it up. So yeah, we'll hit some of the comments on what people think is going to transpire here in the Tumble Tourney. The field of 32 will be whittled down to 16 imminently. This one's from Blow_Zephyr. I just heard from the analyst desk, and they're officially putting Bag O' Wine on upset watch. The loon calls, with their tantalizing and evocative nature, are primed to take down the top seed.
I could see it happening.
#lunatics.
Man, those beaks could easily puncture a bag of wine.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
You ever gotten close to a loon? They're bigger than a bag of wine.
Yes.
Think about that.
They are.
And they're better swimmers.
I would say so. I mean, it's not a great matchup for Bag of Wine.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous. They wouldn't have wanted to see the Svensaw either, though. So they were kind of put in a tough spot, easily trouncing the green-eared sunfish. But they got two sharp opponents either way. And the loon calls and those beaks, Oh, Beaks beat Spouts every time.
It should be, yeah, it should be interesting to see how first round voting totals match up in the second
I
round.
should shout out too, because I think last show I said like, the Milky Way has had the second highest vote totals. Actually, they had the fourth. So I'm gonna fact check that one on the fly today.
Moose had the second most.
Yeah, Moose was second most. Then the Lakers were in third, and Milky Way was in fourth. Still very good at 236, but those are basically all the 200 plus votes. But yeah, like, will that translate next round? How much do people actually factor in the matchup versus, or is there just brand loyalty to the Lakers? We'll see.
We'll see. We've got Goby in my pants coming in with slip bobbers, walleye, and pike going down in the first round is rough. Those teams have a lot of soul searching to do for next year. I would agree with that. Lake trout, though, I think are a bit of a dark horse team. That's my lock of the week.
Yeah, you can't. You normally don't get them on the slip bobber.
Yeah, everyone likes them, and they have some mystique to their play. Will they play shallow, or will they be deep? We'll find out.
Mm-hmm. Plus, the tournament's going on in March, which is definitely one of the best times of year for Laker fishing. Didn't pan out for us yesterday on the lake, but March is generally like that's their sweet spot. We talk about the solar max and solar minimum in relation to Northern Lights all the time, Eric.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that. This tournament is always going to be held in the real wheelhouse for the feeding frenzy that is like late ice Laker season.
Exactly. I'm surprised they weren't in it last year.
Anybody tell I got a nice tan yesterday.
Yeah, I got
the hairs are looking great, Eric. But like we both got a little color on our cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling the rays.
It's not just the beer. Walmart brand Labonga. This is your Labonga lock of the week. That's trademarked, people. Brought to you by Walmart. Number 12 coffee takes down the cozy wool socks in a brutal fashion. Chunk.
Why is it brutal?
Why does it have to be brutal?
They could just politely take them down. It's just wool socks.
Bird dogging it. This is the field and on the water correspondent coming to you from Remix.
All right.
Nice. I'm glad you were able to get across the border somehow. The entire bubble is still confused by the sudden collapse of number 5 seeds and their potent THC triangle offense. But as any fan of the freshly coined longest tourney standing knows, that's why you play the games. Looking to the future, the confidence of tents can't be denied. Coach Reginald Elias Irving's half-dome defense seems poised to block out Northern Lights' barrage of long-distance shots and turn them into a real Aurora Borealis.
That's all true, but their sixth man is still Coleman, and he's a liability. He's a real liability.
Yeah, he's like, what's the little nerdlinger from Hoosiers who gets put into the championship game and dribbles it off of his foot?
I don't know.
That's Coleman.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Hoosiers ever.
What?
Never.
We should just do Hoosiers. We should change it up. Let's do Hoosiers instead of the River Wild.
I used to be pretty good at the hoops. I'll just say that.
But this analysis
I was pretty good at the hoops.
Isn't holding his breath. Northern Lights will prevail while resting their starters in the second half, which is good because they'll need all their particles for their next matchup against the mighty Fighting Fishers, who will easily flip the off switch on Team Headlamp.
You see him the other night? Were you outside? Did you see this?
I've seen them this week, yes.
It
bodes well.
Again, yeah, we're talking about, it's a good Laker season. The KP has been red hot lately.
Red hot.
From both the three-point arc and in our skies up here on the North Shore. It's been some really nice, and there's a new moon on right now, so it's been some super crispy stars. And the glow is almost always there every night right now. It's been a pretty good sign for them, I would say.
I don't see any potential that the tents can make it through that second round matchup. Ninja Thu, disappointing showing from Edibles. Can't believe cell phone towers even got 5 in an absolute blowout. Coffee could be the underdog after socking it to Walleye. Potential to make a deep run. Yeah, there's a lot of people on Team Coffee. We've got a big in the field report here from Hopalicious.
You gonna take a sip for that one?
I probably should.
You probably should hydrate, bud. Yeah, I don't know. Coffee up against the Wolves Sox. I'm intrigued. I cannot wait to see what happens there.
Cannot wait. This is from Hopalicious. Thanks, everybody, for your in-the-field analysis, especially for those across the border. Godspeed. I checked in with my degenerate gambler friend and managed to tear him away from the ponies long enough to get some of the insider dope on the second round. He told me the following. Northern Lights better be at solar maximum because the tents are staked in, and the knots are tight. Ooh. The backcourt defense from Tungsten Marmot and Larry Late Start Kelty will keep the lighters boxed in on all four sides.
Kelty, huh?
Larry Kelty.
Larry Kelty.
An intimidating
dude
frontcourt.
Dude had like 3 slamma-jammas in the first round.
Yeah, we will see. But in the degenerate gambler continues. An intimidating front court led by power forward Big Agnes and a 7'2" man known simply as MSR will swat those charged particles back towards the sun.
Yeah, they lead the league in blocks. That's for sure.
Well, I imagine they do. Yeah, that makes sense. This analysis, personal opinion, is that the lighters eke it out, but get their first scare of the season. Another number 1 seed, Bag of Wine, is in trouble. He told me, rumor has it, some of the team has fallen ill with headaches, nausea, and hankerings for greasy food. Team members Asti Spumante and freshman twins Ernest and Julio Gallo were rumored to have made the trip from Pike to Ely for some Bucky burgers, pounds of wings, and pitchers of beer.
You're going to be put in quarantine and acting like that.
Staff at the Ely Steakhouse said they were going on about something called the Danielson Challenge, quote unquote. Details are scarce, but think it stems from a legendary food massacre that happened there many moons ago. Let's hope the team's illness and questionable meal choices do not affect their play, because the loon calls do not quit. Day or night, night or day, the loonies will be calling. There is quite a stir in the gambling community about the baggers going down. We shall see.
Degenerate gamblers. You know, I asked my financial advisor if I could like put my old 401k and just put it all on one team in the Tumble Tourney. They said they did not recommend investing in cyber tournaments. I was like, who calls them cyber tournaments? You're fired. Get out. So now in this year alone, we've had to fire our lawyer and our financial advisor. Is it still working? We're still live.
We're still good.
Yeah.
My gambler friend then wandered away to rejoin his pack of heaters and half-finished Tom Collins. But luckily, I received a call from my stockbroker friend.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. He gave me a few hot tips on some tumble stocks that are about to become the talk of the tourney.
I honestly didn't read this. Can you hook us up with your stock guy? Because our financial guy is an old. He's not with the times, as they say.
No.
We need somebody that's up and up with the 2021.
Cyber currency? What?
Cyber tournaments.
Dead Calm Reflections. DCR crushed Wall Street projections last week and will continue this trend past the skinny dippers. Get in now while the stock is a steal. Pizza Biters, PB. I love that they're now in parentheses what their stock exchange code is. They're hot, and we all know.
Just PB?
Just PB.
Hashtag PB.
Somehow they got in with a 2-letter symbol.
They're an old, they've been in there a long time.
They've been around for a while.
They've been on the exchange a while.
They're hot, and we all know they do not cool down quickly. Attempts to deal with them while hot does not end well. Expect the biters to scald the north wind and make their investors proud.
Somebody on the chat saying loon calls are the new Bitcoin. They are. Yeah, they're like the gold standard of a Boundary Waters trip, no doubt.
Loon coin. I couldn't get any more tips from my broker friend because he then just wanted to babble about something called stonks and frequently mentioned his hands were made of diamonds.
They were. I saw that guy.
Not sure what that means, but I choose to end the call while I was ahead.
That was smart. That was
very smart.
Nothing on this show is financial advice.
No, we're not financial advisors. Let it be known. Back to you in the studio. Thanks, Hopalicious, for the thorough in-the-field analysis and
from the
not financial advice.
Yeah, the analyst desk. Yeah. Nicely done.
Also, Cheap Dancer with the Rock Lock Greg's rock lock of the week. We'll just quick throw it.
That was one of my favorite things I've seen on the sub in a while.
Yeah,
that came up. I believe that came up like last Monday.
Right, exactly.
You know, it was looking pretty good. A lot of fun things up this week, but that one takes the cake.
Yep, Great Reason is predicting 6 seeds over 3 seeds in all 3 matchups.
Okay, let's see.
That would mean Gravity Water Filter, Cast Iron, and Ugly Stick all moving on. Not a hard prediction. I could see all of those moving through.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a loon bag. A loon bag. Hey, loon calls over bag of wine from Dirty Dad Bod 523. Aldi 1 has got a lock on hammocks over Chacos. Upset alert. Beware. Loon calls over bag of wine. I'm not feeling great about bag of wine this week. There's some grumblings and rumblings.
Well, who drinks bags of wine in the winter? I mean, I got 2 beers in my hand right now. I don't have any bags of wine. How come beer isn't in? Beer. Maybe next year we got to watch out for that team. Beer in plastic growler.
Parking lot big friendlies.
Or the glove box warmies.
Yeah. Senior caster, lock of the week, coffee over wool socks. Smooth Operator's got a solid rock lock pick is hammock over Chacos. And Hopalicious again in with a stone cold lock of the century, Gravity Filter over Camp Chair. Yep.
Oh yeah, I would believe that all day. That one's a good lock of the week there. Can we revisit what were our locks of the week last week, Eric? Do you remember?
Yes, my lock of the week is Lake Trout over Min 2.
What did I pick?
I don't know. It's your lock of the week.
Oh, I think I went with wool shirt over camp slippers and the other cozy. There's 2 cozy matchups.
Yeah, coffee versus wool socks.
Coffee and wool socks and camp slippers and wool shirts.
It's tough.
Holy moly. I believe I went with a 14 seed lock it was the soft lock. It's so comfortable and so warm.
Chunk.
Over those camp slippers.
All right. Are you ready to get into it?
I'm ready.
I'm excited. First round coverage last week might be my most exciting day of the year, but I love it when matchups start making themselves known.
This is a lock made of yarn.
A soft lock.
No joke. I gotta say, I just purchased a bunch of wool socks ordered. I got a great deal. The stimmy hit. I spent the whole stimmy on wool socks.
Wool sock stock?
Yeah, I didn't buy any wool shirts though. So once again, I'm not supporting my soft locks.
All right.
Let's hit it. Let's get to the meat, Eric.
Let's do it. Let's see. I don't see any upsets. Do we want a quick rundown of what our predictions were?
For each. As we go, we got to give the predictions. That's the new formula.
Right.
That's the new normal.
The new normal.
The new abnormal.
So this Remix bracket is this second round matchup is to go to the finals. Who did you have moving on here?
I had Northern Lights, but I had them over the Long Johns. So I'm really hoping Northern Lights can hang on. I'm not really too scared to the Tents and the Kelty, but like I said, they lead the league in blocks.
Yes.
And one good way to miss out on all this good Northern Lights activity we've seen all week is if you were in the tent.
Yeah, that's a good defense.
Yeah, that's one way to avoid them.
Yeah, I had Northern Lights over the Tents in my prediction, and then I had Edibles over WA Fisher map. So I can't get that one right.
Now, I had Fishers over the Edibles, so I'm definitely looking for Fisher and Northern Lights to meet up here. That would be great, because next up in the bracket, I had those slip bobbers really ruining my day.
I had the Gravity Filters beating out the Camp Chairs, and I had Fresh Blueberries beating Skinny Dipping. Cannot get that one right either.
Wow. Well, I did have Skinny Dipping beating the Blueberries, so I'm looking for Skinny Dipping, Fisher, and Northern Lights be my prediction, but unfortunately the slip and dip phenomenon is not possible, as the Gravity Filters are probably, I would just guess Gravity Filters will go over the Chairs, but that's just because I'm salty.
All right, let's do it. Northern Lights, not even close. 183 to 43. Tents, pack it up, roll it up real hastily. in the mud and the
It's
dirt.
all wet.
So you gotta take it out when you get home.
Full of dew.
Set it up in the yard, in your backyard, and dry it out.
To quote Norman McLean, from A River Runs Through It, the world was covered in fresh dew. I'm pretty sure that's a direct quote.
Nailed it. The Northern Lights are through, of course, back into the Sweet 16.
What are these people talking about tacos and hammocks already for? I like to eat tacos in the hammock, Lee. Yeah, everybody does. What are you talking about?
Chacos versus hammocks.
Yeah, I know.
Taco.
The cheese tacos. Everybody knows the cheese tacos are very popular. Yeah, KP Index did play only the first half again in this matchup. And then Reverse Polarity came in and just started, shooting buckets, just shooting layups, basically. 10 was no match.
We've got a very interesting Sweet 16 matchup ahead of us, my friend. Headlamps put down the Maps 125 to 102.
That was pretty close.
We've got a couple of lights into the Sweet 16.
Ooh, that is fun. I like that. I'm fine with that. Lights versus lights.
I mean,
nature's lights versus man-made artificial light.
The Headlamps,
human-made.
Human-made.
Please.
They are a 12 seed, but they don't seem like a real Cinderella at this point. They've kind of just been almost expected to get here after putting away what was at the time, I guess, a favorite in edibles. But they've been shining the lights on these first two rounds, and it should be interesting to see how the Northern Lights match up against the man-made lights.
All of the lights.
All of the lights.
Yeah.
KP Index might be playing a full.
I think this one's gonna be close. Yeah, it'll be closer. I'll say that.
I think I said a full 60 in the past, but I believe NCAA basketball is two halves at 20 minutes, so they don't play a full hour.
Yeah, sure.
Interesting. So we got a 12 versus a 1 setup. Moving down, Gravity Filter, as predicted, moves on. Well, not as predicted, but as many people gave their locks of the week, and as I predicted, and as you predicted, Gravity Filter 133 to 94 over the camp chairs.
What was the score?
Down camp chair 133 to 94.
Ooh, there we go. They got rid of the slip bobber, and so you knew they were serious.
Yeah.
6 seeds through.
6 seeds through. Let's see if it's going to be a tournament, at least in Remix and Isabella up to this point. A little bit of a busting happening. And the busting continues. Dead Calm Reflections moving on.
They did it.
169 to 59.
The DCR.
DCR versus Gravity Filters.
Yeah,
wow.
So
that's going to be a matchup.
DCR versus the GWF.
That's going to be a matchup.
That's tough.
That is tough.
What to do about that? Isabella Championship. That's got to be one of the more surprising championship matchups for a regional so far.
Yes, I would agree. All right. Upset alert. Coming in hot. Let's see. Oh, yes. The rumblings, the grumblings, the beaks over the bags. Loon Calls win it 146 to 81.
146 to 81? The puncture.
The bags of wine are gone.
Woo!
My first.
Woo! Heck, this is nuts.
My first Final Four team.
Galio.
Out of the.
Your Final Four team is out?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Gone. My bracket was partially busted last week, but it is fully blown up at this point.
I know. I think we both said for sure that we were on Bag of Wine there, but we got to make sure to get through the rest of Minto and Bike before you reveal any more results as to what we had on our brackets.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Wow, the Loons. Everybody, you could just tell based on the comments once you started reading. Everybody wanted those Loons through. It was the Bag of Wine got.
It was a bit of a groundswell. Before we move on to the 8-9, let's or sorry, not the 8-9, but the 5-4. Yeah, I had Bag of Wine in the Final Four. They're gone. And then I had Hammocks over Brew Lake, so I can still get Hammocks. and I had Thunder Point losing to Wool Shirt. So that can still come to fruition.
Yeah, I had the Hammocks over the Chacos.
Nice.
So I called both those matchups correct, and I'm going with Hammock there, I hope. My soft lock of the week was Wool Shirt over Thunder Point. Actually, the lock of the week was then Wool Shirt over the Camp Slippers. I did not predict the Camp Slippers, thus, but I did have Wool Shirt going, and I believe they're going to win today. That final matchup down there, we got one of the two watercraft that made it out of the first round, the North 117 versus PB Nash. I called the upset. I went with the Biters.
I did too. They had a disappointing tournament last year, going out in the second round, but I feel like they're determined this year. They're hot. They have been properly cooked to a crisp finish under the new coach toaster oven. They were a little inconsistent under microwave, Mike or Wave. So I also have the Biters taking out the North Star Northwind 17s. Let's do it. The Hammocks prevail 5 over the 4, 164-61.
Farewell, cheese taco.
Farewell, cheese taco.
Now I'm never going to be able to wear my Chacos and just think of them as footwear. I'm always going to think they might be made out of cheese tacos. You think you can make? I bet you can make a sandal out of a taco.
A sandal out of a taco.
If there's enough cheese, you can do it.
I would think you would need more tortillas than anything else, like really old tortilla.
That's the cheese is the straps. The tortilla is the soul.
The soul. All right.
I'm pleased. I have Hammock going a ways, so pleased with the Hammocks.
Yeah, I do too. I've got Hammock.
What a great matchup though that sets up versus loon calls in the Hammock. There ain't no better place to hear a loon call. That one's going to be like brother fighting brother.
Some interesting matchups to be said for sure. Dead Calm Reflections versus Gravity Filter. I mean, it's just looking forward to the Sweet 16 already. Let's move on to the 11-14 matchup. Camp Slippers do not survive the comfortness of the Wool Shirts. And comfortness is a word.
Hashtag comfortness.
Wool Shirt, the 14 seed, the Darlings, 128 to Camp Slippers, 95. They are into
close.
The Sweet 16. Ooh, so cozy.
Everybody's cozy and warm. Feeling great coming out of there. It would be nice to eat some pizza biters with wearing that Wool Shirt. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Is it?
Hard to say. Who do you think they're going up against in the Sweet 16? You're going Biters. I'm going Biters. And by the skin of their oily teeth, they make it through.
They did.
117 to 107.
Woo, that's probably the closest match of the week. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
They
by
win
10?
They win by 10 over North Star Northwind. Another canoe goes down. Hashtag Biters forever. They're back in it. They're hot. They are feeling it. They're not going to let themselves go down this year. So it's the Wool Shirts versus the Biters.
It's a good thing that the family pack of biters now includes 10 bonus biters. Just enough biters to get them by.
Just enough biters.
Mystery biters. You don't even know what's in them, but they're going to be good.
Oof, man, we have set ourselves up for a delicious Sweet 16 round.
I'm pretty excited with the there's a couple in there that I hadn't called, but it's going to really work out very well for the passage from the reader.
Stay tuned for the reader.
Folks on there. Yeah, end of the show, we're going to have a little reading from the reader.
Mm-hmm.
There he is. Not in the tournament this year, but his words will still be at the end of this show. Excited to get to that. And now it's time for Atikokan, Grand Portage, Ambrose Homestead, and the Isle of Pines regional matchups.
Into the East,
right,
starting at Atikokan. Who's going to the championship?
Not looked ahead. We got to go through and what are your predictions for Atikokan in those two matchups, Eric?
I have the Lakers my lock of the week, and I had Garmin InReach beating the White Pines, which cannot happen. I had Johnson Falls over Cast Iron, and Bacon over the Wolf Howls, which the Wolf Howls aren't in there, but Bacon can still win.
Hashtag sizzles.
Hashtag Sizzlers.
Yeah, I've been a little worried all week on the Min 2 versus Laker thing. Going out fishing yesterday, trying to go for a big Laker, as a sign from the gods, and got skunked. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it up front. They got skunked, and I have Min 2 beating the Lakers in my bracket. So I'm hopeful that will work out for me. But they had 239 votes for the Lakers in the first round. That is substantial.
Well, they were going up against leather boots, I guess.
That's true. That's true.
It's a weak matchup. I don't know who put them in as a 9.
Yeah, I famously waffled my way into voting for Pike over the Frittatas. So I'm not going to get any more points out of that matchup there. And then down there in Grand Portage, I have the Cast Irons beating Johnson Falls.
Wow.
And then I did have Bacon winning, although it was, like you, against the Wolf Owls, not the Rainflies. So I got potential to get 3 through here. Let's go ahead and check the results.
Let's do it.
From Tumble Home Sports Network. I'm going to get a little sip before we get into these. TSN.
I already killed my
Tumble Home Sports Network.
I was reading out of the West bracket. You should have been spending that time working on that.
I drank my canoe instead. I drank my canoe, and this canoe is through. Min 2. No, I'm sorry. I'm in round 1 yet. Oh. They did beat the Bucket Hat. They're not through. They're not through at all. The Lakers.
The Lakers are
take
through.
Them down.
Hey, lock of the week. I'm gonna start one of those phone call-in things where I tell you all of my locks of the week, and then you can take those. It's only $5.99 a second.
You know your stuff.
In the second round,
Lake Trout is through against the Min 2s. All the canoes are out.
What was the
Everybody's
score?
On foot is 121 to 103. Pretty good one there. And there goes my first Final Four team. Ooh. Goodbye, Min 2s.
Lakers.
You don't need them. We can swim nude. No, we can't swim nude. What are we doing? I don't know. We're just hanging out. We're just going to hang out for the rest of the trip. Everybody stay put. So that whole bracket is busted. Atacocan was rough.
Well, it's
real rough. The Lakers are through. It didn't matter if I got skunked.
2 number 1 seeds.
They're too busy.
Gone.
They're too busy beating up on the canoe. You know what, though? The canoe did make the final last year as a generic all conference. But
too much of a powerhouse.
Again, we're talking about it earlier. The lake trout season right at the end of March here is so amazing. It's not a paddling season. I don't know how well the canoes are really going to do in this tournament going forward, just because of the timing of the tournament.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next matchup. Grand Portage. No. Am I wrong? Atacocan still. White Pine. Oh, the White Pine are mighty. 191 to 35 for the White Pine. Wow. I should have went with my gut.
No frittata.
The frittatas, that was the first morning breakfast. They got to eat it up. They got to eat it up bad. 191 to 35.
Wow, we got a real heritage matchup in the Atacocan Championship.
That's really
Lakers versus the White Pines.
That's so Atacocan.
Oof.
That's so Atacocan. Oh boy, Lakers versus White Pine.
That's a tough one.
All right, we are now moving on to Grand Portage. Cast Iron and Johnson Falls in a nail biter. It's Johnson Falls.
Hey,
Johnson Falls is through. This entire bracket's ruined. Johnson Falls is through in a real close one, 118 to 105.
Nice.
So, not a bad showing for Cast Iron. But Johnson Falls is the lone attraction left in the tournament. And people are swimming. They might not be skinny dipping, but they're definitely swimming and hanging out by the falls. No bag of wines allowed. Get out of here with that. Who are they going to face, though?
Very interested in the Rainfly versus Bacon. Is Rainfly going to continue?
I'd assume so. If they got rid of Cast Iron, they definitely don't deserve any Bacon. And that's true. Rainfly trounces Bacon.
Oh, my God.
It's burnt. It's burnt.
The Rainflies. We've been underseeding the Rainflies for a couple of years. Oh, not us. Whoever is in the selection committee house.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what they're thinking, but they might.
The media. Sick.
The media.
Rainflies 10-seater through no problem. 149 to 75.
Wow.
So I didn't get anything right going on here. It's Lakers versus White Pines and Johnson Falls versus the Rainflies. I didn't pick any of those. And my entire bracket over here in the East is absolutely destroyed.
Busted.
You wrecked it. Yeah, your hull has been wrecked.
Yeah,
You paddled straight into a rock and then over a waterfall. And you're wrecked.
I got 1 out of 4 into the Sweet 16. I had lake trout, white pine. Oh, I got white. Yeah, I nailed it. The top I nailed. What am I talking about? I got white pine and Lakers. I nailed that matchup. But yeah, the below that is Mackenzie Map versus Bacon. Not even close.
Dylan is right. No Bacon versus Cast Iron is the disappointment of the week. I am truly sad. I'm truly sad. But it's okay. It's okay. Can't get every Final Four team in. That would be weird. But we are hiring for an insider position. So if anybody out there knows what they're talking about, has their pulse on the thoughts of Camper Nation.
Pulse on the thoughts.
Yeah. Paddlers need to know. So, send your applications. Check our link on Indeed. You can just send, you could send in just like a audition tape. And the selection committee will review them because I'm going to get fired if my picks keep going this bad.
TumbleHomecast@gmail.com. Moving on, I've got Moose over Camera, Coffee over Wool Socks, The Ugly Sticks over Knife Lake, and Milky over Silky.
We're pretty much on the same page here, Eric. I got Moose over Camera as well. I have Wool Socks winning. I have them over Walleye, not Coffee. I'm not going to be surprised at all if Coffee goes through. And then I did have Ugly Stick over Knife Lake and Milky over Silky. Milky was out too. It's New Moon, the Northern Lights, and the Milky Way were out this week.
Yeah.
It's been quite the show.
The Sky Conference coming in hot this time of year.
Yeah, it's a good time of year for that too. Moose. 184 to 39. Take that camera. Just put it back in your pocket.
Just a stomping.
184
to
Moose 39.
Stomping.
That's pretty good. I got the Moose shirt on. At least I picked the right shirt today. All right, moving on down to Wool Sock versus Coffee. Who's it going to be in the second cozy matchup? It's Coffee, Eric.
Ooh, another 12 seed through.
Coffee is through. This one was a little closer, 140 to 83. But yeah, still pretty strong. People are going Coffee versus Moose up there. In the Ambrose Homestead.
That's going to be a
regional championship.
That'll be a battle. Hashtag antlers up from Dylan.
Ugly Stick is broke.
Oh, Knife Lake is through.
Knife Lake is through.
Nice. I love it. I love to see the lakes that got so disappointed in the first round.
This was very close. 119 to 102. Very, very close. It's right up there. I don't think I don't think anybody's gonna get within 10, but that one's up there. And then our final result in the famous Milky v Silky. Oh yeah. It didn't matter if I was cutting alders down today. The Milky Way is moving on.
The Milkies.
Milkies beat Silkies 185 to 40.
Oof.
There you go.
Very nice. No surprises there. The back half of the tournament results in the second round, a little bit more not my speed, but closer to my predictions. Man, that West just got blown up. But still some very interesting matchups to look forward to in the Sweet 16. Boy, where do you even begin? Lakers versus White Pine, Moose versus Coffee, and Knife Lake versus the Milky Ways. I see a lot of potential for some close matchups here.
Okay, I was just tabulating some results here, and I think I've got our official top 4 vote getters for this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you're going to believe this when I say it, but White Pine had the highest vote totals in the second round at 191 votes in a thrashing of the Frittatas. And coming in second was the Milkies with 185. And then Moose had 184. And our friends, the defending champs, Northern Lights, only 183. But I mean, that's a heck of a grouping there. All four of those teams very strong. Watch out for those four teams moving forward.
Yeah, I would say so. So you lost one Final Four?
I lost my min twos. Yeah, I completely there's no point in even continuing on in Grand Portage and Atikokan. I will not be attending any of those games next weekend because I am completely wrecked that bracket. That one's toasted. Lakers versus White Pines. I love that matchup though. I would consider it going if maybe I can get some last second ticket. And then Johnson Balls versus Rainfly. I have no interest in that game whatsoever. I'm going to say whoever wins Lakers versus White Pine is probably your favorite there.
I would think so.
That's pretty good. And then, yeah, other than that, though, my Final Fours and both my champion teams are still in, as is my champion. So
yeah, I lost.
Losing min two hurts, but that's fine. We're going boatless rest of this tournament.
Boatless?
Boats out of here. It's the Tumble Tourney, not the canoe tourney. All right? So
Am I right?
Watercraft tournament, try harder next year. You know, I don't know what kayak was even doing here. So obviously they got some issues to work out in the Watercraft conference. You know, they got to really, sit down, maybe put a fresh gel coat on this off season and really think about what they've done.
Yeah, they might have to just recalibrate their whole identity since they've been split up into different kinds of canoes and watercrafts and specific makes and models.
Yeah.
I mean, it may have been a little bit too harsh of a move from the committee, the Tumble committee, but they can rebuild, they can make things work, and maybe they just were a little overseeded this year.
Yeah, ever since they appointed Stand Up Paddleboard to their board of commissioners, it's been weird over there. Yeah, it's a weird decision. There's been some questions about the leadership. We didn't really want to get into it, but the results don't look good for them today. That's for sure. That's a power conference we're talking about. I mean, we expect more from them, but times they're changing.
They are. Yeah, I lost Bag of Wine as one of my Final Fours. I was really close to. It was a toss-up in the Sweet 16 for me having Hammocks go through, but I did lose out on one Final Four team. I've still got 3 alive. I've still got both of my championship teams alive. Do you have any final thoughts? Locks. We gotta have a lock of the week.
Yeah, I definitely have a lock of the week, and I might surprise some people with this pick.
Ooh.
But I'm doubling down on a soft lock. Let's keep going, wool shirts.
Soft lock on the wool.
I got the wool blazer on today. Fine wool of a yak. This blazer is made out of, and wool shirts. Moving on against the biters. That's my soft lock of the week, Eric.
That's a nice soft lock. Chunk.
And I actually have them picked. I've checked now. I'm legally obligated as an insider to give locks of the week. I actually picked on my bracket. So the legal department, even the new lawyer, is really getting on my case. It's like, come on, Bill, leave me alone.
Yeah, I'm still a human. Yeah, my lock of the week, I'm all on board. Lakers moving on over the White Pines.
Wow, and White Pines had the highest vote totals this week. It's very bold.
Yeah, it is.
That's what a Laker would do, though. If it sees a lure it wants or a meal it wants to eat, it just takes it. That's the hero of that lake.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, that's bold. I mean, they just took out the 1 seed up there. At least to stop the Lakers.
I was going to say, if they can get by White Pine, I don't see. Although I am continually shocked at the support that the Rainflies get. Their coverage, I guess, is, they were almost one of the teams that it's sort of the opposite of the Canoes from last year, where they consolidated a few of the brands and just went full Rainfly.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess maybe they've had a smooth run up to this point. I was surprised that they even got by Wolf Howls. I was even more surprised by the victory over Bacon. So, Yeah. I don't see them losing to Johnson Falls at this point. I've been wrong in the past about them, and I'm going to say that it's going to be a Lakers Rainfly matchup in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, that seems like it's probably rooted in the data and in common sense. All the back end data and numbers we're seeing is a lot of support for Rainfly out there, no doubt. I am a little sad the sizzle had to come to an end. There was no cast iron versus bacon matchup. It would have been so delicious, but good season for both. The Sizzlers, they just came up short. At the end there. What was the score on that one? 149 to 75.
They almost doubled them up.
Yeah, it looked close early, but it just they couldn't make their free throws at the end of the first half, and then their defense just crumbled. And that's what the Rainfly specialty is. They just locked them down. Nothing could get through.
They got overcooked. Nobody likes there are some people who like extra crispy bacon, but those people are wrong. So yeah, if you're listening to this anytime before March 21st, 2020, get out the vote on the Sweet 16. Links on the subreddit. Links in the show notes. Links on Facebook. Love to keep the Tumble Tourney going. We had another nice turnout of votes this week. Cannot wait to do another one next week. And then things will change up a little bit in regards to scheduling of voting. It gets a little shorter because there are fewer matchups to vote on. A little bit easier to kind of expedite it. But looking forward to Sweet 16 coverage next week. This time.
Heck yeah, do you want to finish with the reading?
Yes.
You want to cue the chiptune music, and then maybe I can do the reading, and we'll get on out of here?
I will cue it.
All right. This is in shout out to two teams that won today, and I didn't know if either of them would get through. But this one's big shout outs to Deadcom Reflections and to the Loon Calls. I had picked this reading before we looked at the results, kind of half expecting this to be more of a eulogy, but this reading is now, Eric, it's a full-blown celebration as these teams are still dancing.
Still dancing.
The canoe was drifting off the islands, and the time had come for the calling. The moment of magic in the north, when all is quiet and the water still iridescent with the fading glow of sunset. Even the shores seemed hushed and waiting for that first lone call. And when it came, a single long-drawn, mournful note, the quiet was deeper than before. I got goosebumps. I got straight up goosebumps. Look at these things. Woo! Electric. Thank you for voting. Thank you for everybody tuned in on the live stream. And thank you, Eric, for being here once again in Studio K for another thrilling Tumble Tourney week. We got a couple more to go. We're almost halfway through the tournament. Woo. Good night. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm gonna go stomp around the woods a little. Cheers. That's the end of that northeast. Need like a tambourine.
Well, that sounds like a train.
Yeah, where's the whistle? It's over there.
You should get that whistle soaking.